Hey RJ, it's an adventure game type. So yeah, right now I'm working on creating some of the exterior environments and linking them together. Like there's multiple levels that are going to be linked together. So right now I'm working on one of the transition levels. There's a couple of them already, like this type here. So it's kind of like a corridor, so you can load and unload a level. So there's one, and then another one would be kind of through a cave behind this waterfall that you kind of go through here, and then you exit through here. So this is another like linkage level. And so yeah, I'm focusing right now on doing the um, kind of these transition levels. Oh, thank you. Yeah, glad you like it. It's it's I've been able to contain it using these kind of grid system where like um, I kind of go square by square where I add the smaller details um, and then kind of the bigger details like the rocks and some of the other items in the level. So that way I can keep it a little bit easier contained. You know what? I'm not thinking. I'm probably not gonna do it. It's just because some of these trees are from like different packages. So and from looking at nature, uh, in order for the trunk of one of these trees to swing, it would have to be a tornado. So I see a lot of games that have these things where like uh, the branches would like or like the trunk would swing wildly. So at the moment, it's going to be a pretty simple, pretty light sway, like maybe you notice on some of these, um, you know, kind of simple like that. I don't want to overcomplicate it too much. Um, I mean, there's not going to be any weather in the game, even though there's going to be a random kind of well there's going to be multiple times of day, so to speak. So there's like the daylight, there's overcast, I guess is this one. Let me find some of these. So there's like an overcast setting. It's not perfect at the moment, but um, there's sunset, actually sunset, and uh, during the daylight it works out pretty well as as night. So the game starts. with a plane crash sequence. So because that's kind of being used throughout multiple games. But for me, it actually works out pretty nice because um, you only find out. So you suffer the crash, and then you don't really remember what's going on or how you got there. So you have to explore, and through some of the missions that friendly NPCs are going to give you, you find out what's going on in this place. So that's how you kind of regain your memory and figure out what's going on. So um, so yeah, I can't really say. I mean, the game is kind of an adventure, suspense type of game, not a horror kind of game. Um, so the player will eventually have to discover the what's going on. And yeah, Ethan Carter, that kind of like that. I definitely I have to admit I did not play that game. I only played it in the beginning, like the beginning part of it. Because it's not that one is more of a detective kind of game. This one's got some action as well. There's going to be enemy NPCs. They're going to be shooting at, and they're going to be shooting at you if you're not careful. Or currently I have some stealth mechanics in place. You can um, distract them by throwing things or turning certain pieces of machinery on. You can hide in lockers, so there's a little bit of like Hitman type of sneaky combat involved. So because I like the mechanics for that as well. And so yeah, I definitely wanted to combine a little bit of hopefully story with that stealth mechanic because you know just doing it all action is kind of didn't really make sense. And this is something that I wanted to do, and yeah, here it is. I mean, or currently. So yeah, and I'm actually kind of happy with how things run in um, in Unreal, coming from CryEngine myself. So oh, thank you. Yeah, I think you're definitely right. The sunset is not you know totally there. It's still up for debate. Like you're saying. So it's um, it's got room to improve. But overall, it's all right. The biggest thing for me is like performance. So like right now, it actually runs quite well on my beater of a machine. So and in the editor, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, like one of the things that I wanted to do is so when you start the game, the beginning of the game is going to be a pretty set time of day, but you would be able to advance it by sleeping, because I mean I like that. I think that was I'm not sure where I've seen that first. Maybe in Fallout, and that was definitely something that I'm interested in seeing how it would work. So yeah, that's really good. Like I have a 970, so I think the 970 and 1060 are actually I think the 970 is a little bit slower than the 1060 from what I've seen at least. So plus plus the 970. My 970 is closing in on 5 years old now, so it's definitely getting there. Hey Dogan, how's it going, dude? Welcome. Well, I'm actually working on transition level at the moment, so yeah, the river is definitely like that was something that I've always been kind of debating on how what the speed of this should be. So let me try and tone that down a little bit because you're definitely right. Let's see, where was that? River depth. Styling. Let's see if I have this. There you go. I think that's better. Yeah, you're definitely right on that. I failed to notice. Maybe the phone can be a little slower as well. Let's see. I think one was okay. Maybe a point 0.8. Oh, so Dogan, I changed from CryEngine maybe over a couple of years ago. Oh, it just didn't make sense anymore for me to like it was I was wasting my time with it. Sorry to say it, but you know, it is what it is. So there's so many more features that Unreal can provide, and CryEngine will just never reach that, unfortunately. They have a dedicated small team, but their focus is on Hunt. Their focus is not necessarily. I mean, they work on the engine as well. Probably doing something along with the Hunt development, but I mean, it's you know, it is what it is. I wanted to do to get something that I can make some progress in, and that would have not happened to. Yeah, that's the thing. I killed so much time in CryEngine. It was. I'm not gonna put it down. It was definitely a learning curve for me. So a lot of the stuff that I learned there, I'm able to apply in Unreal. But yeah, I wish that I would have done it sooner, in all honesty. So, but you know, in the end, it matters that I eventually, you know, uh, done it. So, but yeah, I can say, there were some definitely quite a few things that I learned in CryEngine, but yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to make a game, I would definitely recommend Unreal. That's definitely the way to go. So yeah, yeah, this is it. This is that project. So RG, there's a bunch of textures from Megascans. So I have a mixture of I think I have like 6 layers. You and me both. I love the forest. I have to be honest. It's it was a lot of fun. I mean, this was not something that. Ah, God.